Even as the U.S. is passing a grim milestone, with more than 11,000 Americans dead from the coronavirus, there's growing evidence that social distancing is working in places like New York and New Jersey, where they're seeing a leveling off in the number of hospitalizations. Now, in places like Washington State and California, local efforts to flatten the curve have also been working to slow the spread, according to the Surgeon General. But meantime, and this, I'm getting right to Al and Erica here, meantime in Wisconsin, the polls are open for the primary there, with increased precautions taken to keep voters and poll workers safe. That's after the governor tried to delay the vote because of the pandemic, but was overruled by the state Supreme Court. Now, it might seem crazy, right, to hold an in-person vote in the middle of a pandemic, and this person does think it's crazy and disenfranchisement and unconstitutional. But here's what the Surgeon General had to say about it on the Today Show.
As a black man, that I know that people have died for the right to vote. This is very important to our entire country. And if people are going to go out there and vote, then please do it as safely as possible. Maintain 6 feet. Please, especially in Wisconsin, consider wearing a cloth facial covering to protect your neighbor. If you're going to exercise your right to vote, do it as safely as possible.
All right, well, I'm not going to ignore the fact, because we keep it 100 here. I'm with 2 black hosts and a woman as well, with Erica. We were disenfranchised in this country for a long time. Ruth Bader Ginsburg has said it boggles the mind today that she thinks outcomes like this, and it's a normal day for everybody. You're disenfranchising anyone who's old, elderly, or immunocompromised. Erica, I want to get to you. How do you feel about this?
You know, I feel like maybe the vote should be held off on. I do have a problem with anyone being in a situation where they are unable to exercise their civic duty. You have to consider if you are going to compromise yourself in terms of doing maybe taking a bus, taking a train, somehow getting there, rideshare services are down. So you're really saying that only people who are in more fortunate positions are able to go out and vote. So, and that means fortunate in any capacity, fortunate health-wise, fortunate social economically wise, which does disenfranchise a huge segment of the population, as we now definitely know.
Al, how do you feel about this? Erica, I completely agree with you. It's a class system, too, that they're separating people from. Al, how do you feel?
I mean, well, class kind of speaks to my point as well, and I hadn't really thought about it until Erica said it. But, you know, I was like, well, how about if people vote online at home? But that becomes a class issue again, because a lot of people don't have access to getting online. So that's a problem as well. I think the vote should be held off. If nothing more than the reason that most people vote is they're voting to see certain things that they'd like enacted, see them come to fruition in the future. It doesn't matter too much if you're sick or if you passed away because you went down to vote. That completely cancels out the reason that you went down to vote, and you may have put other people that may reap the benefits of your vote, should it be a good thing, and endanger them as well. So I think it should be put off. Nobody likes to see voter suppression. No one is pro-team voter suppression, but in this case, we're dealing with an extreme situation, and we have to act the same accordingly.
I agree. Wisconsin, let us know if you're from there, because this feels wrong to me.